What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode number 309 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. Again, today's episode number 309 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast is entitled In Your Own Skin. You got that? Are you comfortable in your own skin? And I had this episode all sussed out, and then I just got a message from a friend of mine in recovery, John McCoy, who sends daily motivational messages. And in it, he had this quote: "Recovery has helped me be comfortable in my own skin." And I was like, okay, I got to get John's permission to use that in this episode. And he graciously agreed. And I want to ask you guys, are you finding that true? Has recovery helped you be comfortable in your own skin? You see, for most guys I meet early in their recovery, it's just the opposite. Whether they're going to rehab or joining a group or going to a counselor, having to open up and share can make you feel uncomfortable. And you're focused on just getting clean and sober and not really wanting to deal with all the other stuff. Whereas in active addiction, we have our drugs, our alcohol, our porn, our gaming, our gambling, you name it, whatever our addiction is, to escape and hide the discomfort we have in our own skin. And for some of us, we've been uncomfortable in our own skin as long as we can remember. We are not happy or content in our addiction, but we have found a way to get numb and not have to think about our discomfort. And that discomfort can get us into the point of having a relapse early in our recovery. And the discomfort or the relapse often gets disguised as just finding fault with the program we're involved in and leaving early. But what would be signs of being comfortable in your own skin? I'd like to go through a few. Some are going to be tongue-in-cheek, but hopefully they'll be meaningful to all of you. The first one is, if you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't need to pretend or wear a mask just to fit in. You like the person you see in the mirror. You are sort of living with a what you see is what you get attitude towards other people. And it's sort of like, are you comfortable with yourself naked? Are you okay with the way your body has changed over time? Are you okay with the changes that physically took place in your years of addiction? To be comfortable in your own skin means you're not trying to be something you're not just to fit in. And Ellen DeGeneres, American comedian and actress, said, and I quote, "To me, beauty is about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about knowing and accepting who you are." So the first step for me of being comfortable in your own skin, the first sign that you're getting there is just that. You know who you are and you accept who you are, and you're not trying to masquerade as something you're not. The second one I would say is that you're relaxed and you're confident in relationships, in friendships, in conversations, in interactions with other people. You're growing in your ability to speak out about what you're feeling or thinking. Because maybe for the first time in a long time, you're realizing that you're open and honest. You're authentic about what you're saying without fear of judgment from other people. But I want to add to this, I think a really big sign of being comfortable in your own skin is that you're walking in humility. You're staying humble. There's no boasting in what you're sharing. You're just being honest and authentic in a humble sort of way. And I like the quote that Dolly Parton, the American singer and actress, said, which was, I'm comfortable in my own skin no matter how far it's stretched. You got that? Are you relaxed and confident in your interactions with people, that you're comfortable in your own skin no matter what they may see has changed in us? The next point I'd like to point out is that a good sign of being comfortable in your own skin is you're comfortable spending time alone. You're content with yourself, and you're not constantly comparing yourself to other people. You not only have started to like yourself, but you're beginning to truly love yourself. You look to the future as the new you, instead of keeping on looking in the mirror and seeing the old you. And I like the quote by Oscar Wilde, the Irish author and poet, in this category, which is, to love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. That's awesome. Can you be at the beginning stages of a romance with yourself, where you love yourself, you like yourself, and you're going to be positive about what you think about yourself rather than comparing yourself to others for the rest of your life? And on that point of being positive, I'd like to add, it's not just comfortable in spending time alone, it's in that time alone, our voices in our head are under our control. We're having positive self-talk rather than engaging in negative self-criticism. Self-validation actually becomes your norm. The opinions of others no longer control you. And there's a strong but subtle self-confidence that's evident to others. Again, you're not bragging, you're not boastful, you're not pompous, but they can see this strong, subtle self-confidence whenever they're around us. And Amy Adams, the American actress, once said, "Find out who you are and embrace it. It's so much easier to face criticism when you are comfortable in your own skin." You got that, this subtle confidence that we have that does not have to be in someone's face, but is a self-confidence that's strong, is there because we're comfortable in our own skin. And the criticism of those people waiting to say, I told you so, waiting for us to fail, waiting for us to relapse, doesn't even get under our skin anymore. The next aspect for me as a sign of being comfortable in your own skin is that you begin to embrace the quirkiness about you. You know, those differences, those things that are unique to you that other people may laugh at, but you've been hurt by that laughter in the past, maybe. But now we can look at our flaws and our imperfections and say, I'm okay being me. And I smile about them. And you know what? My smile takes away your laughter. Charles Handy, the Irish author, once said, "The moment will arrive when you are comfortable with who you are, and what you are, bald or old or fat or poor, successful or struggling, when you don't feel the need to apologize for anything or to deny anything. To be comfortable in your own skin is the beginning of strength." Wow, that really fits recovery. When you don't feel the need to apologize for anything or to deny anything, you're finding that point of being comfortable in your own skin, and that's the beginning of strength. And for me, a big one as a final aspect of knowing you're comfortable in your own skin is you've found a sense of inner peace that you never knew before, not only with who you are today, but with your past and with your current situation and circumstances. A peace about your future. So when I ask you, can you sleep peacefully knowing today was a good day? That you won this day? that you conquered temptation today. And there's an anonymous quote that says, you find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. I think this is a good list and a good self-check time. But I must be honest, it stirred in me a side thought. That phrase, that idiom, get under someone's skin, because often as we're trying to get comfortable in our own skin, there's someone getting under our skin. And this idiom can mean that that's that person that irritates us or upsets us, that they're constantly just nagging and nitpicking and getting under our skin. But there's a second meaning for this idiom that fits this episode. And that is when we can affect someone positively, even though they're not expecting to be affected that way. That just by our presence, they grow to like something. And I want to say, are those people in your life? Are there people that maybe you thought were an irritant in the past, but as you're becoming comfortable with your own skin, their being under your skin has caused growth in you, has got you to accept the situation that you're in? Because maybe the best way to get comfortable in your own skin is to get under your own skin and grow to like it. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A2D from Addict to Disciple podcast. If you were saying that's me as you listen, then it's time now to reach out and join a group. You can message me on the link in this podcast or by email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com, or go to my website, www.froma2d.org, and click on the contact page. Keep listening to future podcast episodes, and as always, stay safe and stay resilient.